In New York, supporters of Ukraine's new government showing their allegiance to their homeland and calling for peace. A small group gathered outside the United Nations headquarters on Friday, protesting Russia's military involvement in the rally as members of the UN Security Council huddled over the crisis in Ukraine.
We just want more support. We just want people to understand that if Russia's army were to move into our borders, they need to understand that it's not Soviet Union anymore. The borders have changed many times, but at this point, we will not give up a part of our country just because there are so many people there that would rather support Putin.
Demonstrators said they're concerned about their families in Ukraine, and they also worry that the country could become divided. With us now is Olena Nikolayenko, professor of political science at Fordham University, and she specializes in Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union. Professor, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So first off, are you worried, because tensions are so high, are you worried that just about anything at this point could actually set off those Russian troops that are there along the border?
Yeah, of course, it's a very troublesome situation because we have previous incidents when the Russian troops intervened and tried to gain control over a certain breakaway region in the Republic of Georgia and in the Republic of Moldova before.
In Moldova as well as in Georgia. But some have called this a return to the Cold War. Do you agree with that?
Ukraine has been in a very difficult position because it's strategically located between the European Union on the one hand and Russia on the other hand. And so Russia views it as a threat. It's a strategic threat if Ukraine joins the European Union and NATO. So certainly it tries to cling on to this region and stabilize and secure control over it.
So it tries to cling on to this region, but you mentioned this strategic threat. So then at what point, what options do the U.S. and Europe really have at this point?
When Ukraine gained national independence and declared that it would denounce its nuclear arsenal because it was one of the nuclear powers, then the United States and the United Kingdom, as well as Russia, acted as guarantors of peace and territorial integrity. So now Western powers also have to live up to what they have promised and help Ukraine ensure its territorial integrity.
But then in all of this, does Putin, is he really the wild card? I mean, does he really hold the power in this negotiation in determining what comes next?
Negotiations between Eastern Europe and the United States?
Yes. Does he have the power now determining what happens next in Ukraine's future as this new interim government comes into place before these May 25th elections?
He certainly can put a lot of economic and political pressure on the interim government to change its course and to make sure that the political situation in Ukraine remains very unstable.
But aside from that, I mean, ousted President Yanukovych said he would like to return to Ukraine, but fears for his safety. Would it be advisable then for Ukraine to allow him to return without fear of prosecution?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
I definitely think that Yanukovych should be put on trial, and I think that is the opinion of the majority of Ukrainian citizens. But at the same time, he creates a lot of problems for Russia because the Russian government is very much upset with Yanukovych for not being ruthless enough, for not being harsh enough on protesters.
But then what type of damage could a potential war do to the Russian economy, if not America, for that matter?
I think that war in the Crimea will do a lot of economic damage to Russia, but it will definitely change its image, worsen even more its image in the international arena.
Thanks so much. Professor Olena Nikolayenko, thanks so much for joining us.